And the question was about the slide at the very end when I say the path of I Kuan Tao is open to all, and so if you feel that it's the right time to be initiated, please let me know, and I will do everything I can to help you. So, question that comes up in association with that, people ask a bunch of different questions, and I noticed that there was one question that was common to all of them, and that is, what are the duties and obligations, the disciplines of a Tao cultivator after you have received the Tao through this particular ritual? So I want to clarify that. I was just talking about that with my friend Chris here. So people may be under the impression, is there something like the equivalence of praying 5 times a day? What is there? Well, the straight answer is that the initiation itself does not obligate one to anything. Or the way that Chris would put it is that your obligations, the only obligations that you have are the obligations to yourself. To live life in accordance with the Tao, there's not going to be anyone to measure what you have done in that regard. Obligations and duties don't really come into the picture unless you decide to take on obligations and duties by going through other specific rituals for that purpose. Example, the Qingkou ritual, the vegetarian vow. If you decide to take that vow, go through that ritual, then you take on the obligation to live the vegetarian life. Now, not all Tao cultivators go through Qingkou. There's no rule, there's no regulation that says you have to. It's there when you feel like you want to, that you're ready to go through that process. But if you don't feel that need, that's okay. I would say proceed naturally. One day, perhaps you will hear the calling, and perhaps not. Just flow with it naturally when you do hear the calling. Another example, like Ed and Bill, they have gone through with the process of setting up a shrine, and this is a formalized I Kuan Tao shrine. When you set up a shrine like that, it comes with the obligation and duty to maintain, upkeep, clean, practice the rituals every day at that shrine. So that is not a casual undertaking. Has to be done very seriously, which is what Ed and Bill have both taken to do. They both, coming from a Kung Fu background, they both know the value of discipline, so they take that on quite gladly, and they benefit from it. But again, not everyone has to end up with a shrine, set up a formal I Kuan Tao shrine in the home. What most people do, similar to what I do in my own home, is to set up a space, make that the sacred space for quietude, for meditation, for practicing whatever you wish on your own, and it could be a ritual there as well. That does not obligate you to anything beyond what your conscience demands of yourself. So I hope that clarifies the question of Tao initiation. When you just go through Tao initiation, no obligations or duties. If you want obligations or duties, there are other associated rituals where you can take those on. That's one way to answer it. The other way to answer it is that no matter what rituals you take on, the obligations and duties that you take on are obligations and duties that you have to your conscience. So I like that. I like that answer. Probably a better answer than mine.